Howdy, howdy, it's the morning, howdy.
Howdy guys, and welcome to another episode of the Morning Howdy. Like every morning, howdy. So today's topic is looking up. We look down too much, looking at our phones, not looking at the road, not looking what's in front of us, and we're not looking at the future. We're all worried about the past. We're all worried about them likes that were the day before. We're all worried about how we're going to impress someone else on the phone or in some type of way. That's not our future straight path in life. That's our fullest potential. So, the reason I say look up is because do we even appreciate the stars? I mean, if you're an astronomer, I'm pretty sure you would. Or if you like the zodiacs, all those little things. There's a lot of people who do. But us in the city, us not really thinking about it, us always going to bed at night, do we really look up? Do we really think outside the box? Now, we have all these things. It's like we have everything we possibly need. But do we? Is there a lot more we can do? If we put our mind to it, are we not asking enough questions like we used to? No. I think we're still asking a lot of questions, but are they the right ones? When we go on our phones, we get distracted. A lot of time passes by when we're on our phone. The 1 minute where it's like watching Netflix. You watch a whole season and before you eat, your life flashes before your eyes. Sort of like with the phone. Your phone captures the light, and that's all you get to see. It's on the screen. We live a lot behind the TV screen and a lot behind the phone. And there was a time when I was young, and I'm not that old, where there was a lot of people outside, but there's not anymore. The way I used to see it. Maybe it's just my neighborhood. Maybe I don't go out as much as I used to. But I can definitely tell there's less people going out, more people staying in. And there's a lot of reasons why to stay in. Everything is more cozy inside. Everyone doesn't want to deal with the elements. People have more things to be entertained at home. I promise you have an Xbox, you have Netflix, you're good to go, you're set. You have a computer, you're set. You can do whatever you want, technically. But we're trapped. We're trapped with doing everything possibly because it's already in front of our hands. We're not going out and doing things ourselves. We're not pushing the next step forward as we should be because everything is almost at a halt. Wouldn't you think that's how time used to be? You would always get little inventions here and there by one individual who thought there could be more of one thing or a better of a thing. Are we still doing that? I think we are. I think it's just there's less of us to try to work on that we think. There's a lot more we could think of. We just have to look up. Look at the endless possibilities that could be and will be. You got to look up. Because when you think low, you put your head down, and that's never good. You want to keep your chin up, and you won't get knocked out. You're going to go out swinging, is what they like to say. You're going to go out asking the questions and figuring out the questions. And Google, it tells you everything. But what are you figuring out yourself? What are the questions you figuring out without any help? You know what I'm saying? You go out and go see it with your own eyes. And not someone sending you a picture of it. You want to do everything taking the steps. You get more of an experience that way. And I agree, it's true. It's like going out and sea. The only way to know how the experience is to be out in the waters yourself. And we should all be going out in the deep end and, go out fishing. See what the treasures we can catch up with our baby hooks, But we got to be fishing in a sense. We got to be out there exploring our own mind. So let me give you an example. We want to travel everywhere in this world, but we want to fly there. So there's a lot of land that we miss in between, and a lot of land, and no water because we're flying. We don't have to worry about where we're going to sleep. It's less of an adventure and more guaranteed, satisfaction of whatever your thoughts and ideas are there to do. But those things that are in between is what makes up the whole unique trip. You can say a plane ride is 3 hours and it was fun. Boring. How can you make any part of a trip boring if it's all part of the adventure? When I fly, I always find it interesting. I like to look out the window. I like to see from a bird's eye view. People like to sleep. People probably fly too much. People are just tired or they don't care. They are looking down or not looking at all. How many people are looking up? and wondering, I'm in a plane. But what else could, a rocket? A ship? But that's what they're doing now. They're making more rockets. We're going to the Mars. We're taking the baby steps to work on the future. But how many of us are actually thinking about or worried about that? How many of us are just worrying about going to college and finding a job that's already a job out there? What new jobs can we think of? Can we even think of new jobs? Or someone else will think of it for us? What are we going to do ourselves? Well, we got to look up. We got to look in our minds. That's up from our eyes. Think about it. We got to look up and we got to think. Is it possible? Why haven't I done it? Will I take the easy way out? The easy route? And it's like, I took a trip to Florida. I was there in 14 days. I drove. There is no hiking because you still have to follow the highway, theoretically. They built the road over the prairies. They built where it was able to be a road. So that's my only option, is to drive anywhere. There is no more horseback. You can't really ride a horse on the roads all your way there. It doesn't work the same way. But flying, space, it's endless. There's no amount we can't go to that we know of yet. There's a lot of places on Earth that we could do. I've always had the idea of we could always grow bigger buildings. We could always grow underground in buildings or in water or over water. These are the type of possibilities that we possibly have to think of. We're supposed to be thinking of new possibilities. All these people want to do jobs. There's nothing wrong with it either. That already established. We all want to be a doctor. That's the job that there always was. But what is something we could find ourselves and not something that was told for us to do? And this is where inventions originate from. It's something that's not already there. An invention is something new and it's created. Creating is a key source of looking up. Because when you look up, our minds create what we see. We have a foresight of what's already up there and what it is. And when we look out into space, we see stars, and our mind and the way we think about it is all generally the same because we were taught that way. But the ones with the endless amount of possibilities and endless amount of ideas is the one who's going to create something that hasn't been created. When you look up, you see things that probably weren't seen yesterday because light travels at such a high speed, but things are so far away. It takes time. So there's always new light. There's always a new way for a new idea. It just takes time, but you got to put in the time. 10,000 hours or until you die, You got to always be thinking of what if and how can we. And keep your minds to open possibilities. We can paint our own pictures, but we tend to paint pictures of things we've already seen. What if we painted pictures of things that we created in our minds that is new? Shapes, objects, we can create our own type of beast. Something different. Something that might be frowned upon is that things that they find different or not to trend, but these are the things that break trends. These are the things that start trends, is something that wasn't there before. And how do you make something that wasn't there before? How do you make something there? You take what you have, you relate to the things that are part of nature, and you, in a sense, see, I never had one of these things that was inventive, but I know the concept, the philosophy behind inventions, or what I assume is that it comes with an idea that is something unheard of. Something that you don't already know the answer to. Something of possibilities. But we have to search out for possibilities. We have to have imagination. With phones, we lose our imagination. We lose the assignment to create what we want. It's already there in front of us. Our imagination is the key to success. The key to our own destiny is our own imagination. We have to use it, exploit it, adapt to it and hold it dear to us, because our endless a pot of thoughts that we could possibly create in our minds is something unique to anything else in this world. So what new things can we imagine? And what new things would we do? And so I want everyone to just look up and think of something different, and be the kid who thinks there's a monster under the bed. It's not there. He imagines it. But what if he imagined that there was a treasure chest underneath his bed? He imagined something good. And what would he do if he wanted the treasure, per se? He would find new ways to dig, new ways to travel, I guess you can say, new way to take up the ground. People who made the drill, these are all inventions of an idea to how to dig, to how to drill a hole. It's all the same type of concept, but you have to have an imagination idea to create things like this. You don't find treasure under a rock. You find treasure 10 and 20, feet underground. So you have to try. You have to take your imaginations and exploit them. You have to make your imaginations reality, and then that's when reality becomes different. Because every day is different. Every day is a new day. And the new day, the next day, we can use our imaginations and we can look up and stop looking down. So until next time, guys, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. It's the morning.